Hello again, this is John. This is video 3 of 3, hopefully. In the previous video we've replaced that capacitor there, that capacitor there and that capacitor there. And now it's a case of rebuilding the power supply, putting it back into the BBC and see if I haven't broken it. So, shall we get started? So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to slide this back into here and be very cautious with it, because we've got this to get into place, and this is where it gets a bit tricky. So we want that earthen wire to go all the way over there. And we want that to get in this hole. So here we go. One step at a time. And the earthen wire is getting in the way. So I'll just push that a bit further down. There we go. Now it's starting to push through. Move it a bit along, a bit further. Make sure the earthen wire is still out the way, which is there, getting in the way as normal, being the naughty boy. Right, so slowly but surely move it in. There we go, it's going, and we should hear that click into place in a minute. Here we go. So it's power supplies in. This should snap into place now. There we go, that's snapped into place. So there's the earthen wire there, which is now over the thing. So that's the first bolt we put back in, and that was the one with the washer on it. There we go. So what we'll do is put it in. So if my head's getting in the way, put the washer on it as well. Then the bolt. This is where it gets a bit tricky. All fingers and thumbs, mate. There we go. Cut the washer off again. So, put the washer back on again. Put the bolt on. This time, still dropped it. There we go. Hold the bolt in place, and then give it a little screw. There we go. Now we need the pliers to hold the bolt in place. There we go. Give it a screw until it's nice and tight. So that's one earthen wire. And we'll do the other earthen wire while we're here. And these go there on that hole. So we'll get the other bolt. This one didn't have a washer with it. So we'll push the bolt through the hole. And the bottom earthen wire was first, and then the earthen wire from the switch was second. Hold the nearly. Hold the nut in place. Oh, dropped it. Hold the nut in place while we give the bolt a bit of a twist. There we go. And make sure that the earthen lines are not in the way, so when it gets put back in, it's not going to trap it. Hold the bolt. That's tight. And then should be able to get this bolt, get these. Hang on, I'm going to have to loosen this off a little bit. There we go, because the bottom earthing line is getting in the way. There we go. Now we can tighten it back up again. There we go. So everything should now be in line. Make sure all the cables are free, which they seem to be. That's in place. Right, so now it's the switch. So, got the switch here, and on, off. So, one thing I learned doing the other one is put the spades on while it's not plugged in yet. So, black and blue with that side. So, push that on. Bit tough, but they're meant to be. There we go. And then blue as well. Let's get this cable out of the way. I think got the wrong way around. I think blue's at the bottom and black's on the top. Right, so blue's on the bottom, black's on the top. Push that in. Needs a little help. There we go. And then brown's on bottom. Spade through all the way through. Brown's on bottom and red's on top. There we go. Push them all the way in. There we go. And then just push the switch back in, and you should hear it go snap into place. So here we go. There. It's in place now. Not going to come out. Right. Now we've got a case of 3. Push the earthing cable into the casing. That's better. So we've got 3 screws. We've got one there, one there, one there. That's these fellas, all with washers. So I'll try and see if we can get them in without dropping them. That looks like that's the first one in place. Yep. And second one in place. the third one in place. Put that there. There we go. Now that is the power supply back to how it was. Now if you remember before, the cables were tie-backed to there, but I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to leave it just in case there's something wrong and I need to get it back out again. But we need a tie back on there like so. So we'll put one on there. We've got some here, and all it was through the cables. Yep, through the cables, through the first vent, back round, and then just ease it around. And so it's there. Take the excess off of the tie back. There we go. And that's it. So that's the power supply reassembled. So the next thing we need to do is put it into the BBC. So I'm just going to pause the video and I'll fetch the BBC. Hello, John again. Right, BBC. And what we're going to do is we're going to put power supply back in the BBC. Now if you remember, plug first, like so, and then we put the cable through. And you've got to remember, you've got to have this facing up, because if you don't, you won't be able to screw it in. And then it's just a case of just dropping it into place, like so. There we go. So we'll turn it over. There we go. And then it's just a case of these 3 screws. So let me get the screws and the washers. So we'll put the first one on here, like so. Get the screwdriver. Hopefully this will keep the power supply in place for the other 2. There we go. Get the next one. For that one. And keep the power supply in place. And that is not turning that screw. Let's try this screwdriver instead. That screw's got some epoxy in it. Let's put the other one in first. Right, that's that in, so I shouldn't need to hold the power supply anymore. So we'll get this one sorted out. Find out what's in it. Yeah, it's got some epoxy in it or something. Just clean it out a bit. That should do it. we should be back on track now. There we go. So the power supply is back in place. Power supply is back in place. That's okay. That's locked in place. Switch is still working. And it's a case of putting all these back in. So the purple one went there. And if you remember, all the reds went to the VCs. So here's VC1, so that's there. And this one goes on the opposite. VC2, 0 volts there. VC2's there. So 0 volts is the black one. VC2 is the red one. And then we've got another one. Where is it? Here it is. So here, so I've got VC3 and 0 volts. So black goes on, red goes on VC3, black goes on 0. Now we've done that, we can put the keyboard back on. So let me go find the keyboard. There we go. So the first thing we need to do is put the speaker in, and the speaker, if you remember, went here, and it was black towards power, if you remember. There we go. And then the ribbon cable just fits on the ribbon cable here, like so. Sorted. Now the keyboard just then fits on top of those big circles here, and there's some indents for these lugs, and if you get it right, the holes match up for the bolts. So I'll get the bolts. So here's the first one. So we put the bolt through the hole, put the washer on, and then the nut, tighten it up, and we'll do the other one as well. So put the bolt through the hole, yeah, then washer, and then bolt, tighten it up, there we go. Then just quick underneath it, give it a tighten. And then that's it. So what I'm going to do now is going to plug this in as it stands into the TV and see if we've still got a working BBC. I will see you in a minute. Well, here we are. There's the BBC without its cover on. TV, plugged it all in. So let's see what happens when we switch her on. We'll get the two reassuring beeps, and we have a working BB. Hey! I haven't broken something. Amazing! I haven't broken anything. Right, let's just pick a program out of here, just to see, give it a bit of a. Right. So what's this? Right. Right, that looks like a simple one. So 40 mode, 5, 50 BDU. Here we go. All that. And then it says $200. If we change it to B, says 0, rand, oops, $200, 0, RND 4. There we go. Oh. Right, so what I'm going to do now is put the cover back on it, and we'll see. I'll wait for the MMC to come, figure out why the shift key's not working. This one here, this one down here. Hang on. This shift key here is not working, because watch, shift minus is minus, so that shift key is not working at all. Oh, it's sort of working. May just needed a little bit of encouragement. So shift minus is a minus. Yeah, so yeah, it's not I did that, didn't I? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, yeah, did those. Yeah, yeah, just that shift key. Oh, it's a bit temperamental. It's working now. Cool. Give it a clean now. Cool. Right, I'll put the cover back on. Right, where's the screwdriver? Here's the cover. Oops, just touched the... Right, so we'll switch. There we go. Take the power out, just in case. and it's just a case of slotting it back on. Take the TV lead out. There we go. Turn it over. Put the 2 screws in here. So I've got one here. Don't need to tighten it up mega tight. Another one. And then the 2 round the back. So we've got one there. And one here. So there you go, a £20 computer bought from the hospice charity in Lincoln. Replaced the capacitor that had popped. So for £20 plus what, 2.5 hours of my time with you guys, we've got a perfectly working issue 7 computer with a dodgy shift key, but that's easily sorted because I'll look at that in a bit. And I think this is a bargain. I'm quite surprised that I managed to get this. So all it needs is just a bit of Windoline, because it's slightly yellowed, but I'm not going to retro bright it, not yet. I might do it in the summer and do a video of retro brighting it. But this, I'm going to put MMC in it, my sideways RAM, but it's a modern version, not the original version. It's a modern one. So it's a persisting sideways RAM board. So when you shut it off, all the ROMs that you put on it still persist. I'll be doing a video and putting that in there, but I'm just waiting for the MMC Turbo MMC to come. I think that's coming on Wednesday, and then we'll do another video where I'm fitting both of them, and we'll take it from there. And this one will become my machine that I show you guys, and the issue 3 that I used to have, I will put on eBay and sell it and give the money to the charity that I bought this off, to, you know, just as a thank you for letting me buy this for 20 quid, because there's nothing wrong with it except for the power supply. So I hope you enjoyed this 3 episode series about fixing capacitors in the power supply, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye. I'd like to thank all the patrons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.